when we were in school, reading history textbooks. We used to hear names like Sarojini Naidu, Vijayalakshmi Pandit, but we don't really know much about them.
I think on the sexism women faced, it was from every stakeholder.
When it comes to the book, did you guys also have disagreements with the writing style, how to go about things? Just asking as two friends writing a book together.
Yeah, there have been intense discussions, there have been intense fights.
Did you know there were 15 women from diverse backgrounds who were also part of the Constituent Assembly that wrote the Constitution? Their stories have been explored in a recently published book called The 15, and today we're going to be speaking to the authors, Angellica Aribam and Akash Satyawali.
Swaminathan was asking that women representatives should be there while discussing certain laws which revolve around women.
Yeah.
And a lot of the men would just snigger and laugh around.
Who wrote the Indian Constitution? Yes, there was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and Jawaharlal Nehru. But did you know there were 15 women from diverse backgrounds who were also part of the Constituent Assembly that wrote the Constitution? Hi guys, welcome to Newslaundry Interviews.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I want to start by asking a very obvious question, which is why did you choose to write about this?
We realized that, okay, there's this invisibilization of women leaders that's happening, and it just didn't feel right.
I think the biggest challenge was, this has not been done before, and like Angellica said, there's been invisibilization of the women leaders. So even when, let's say, they've contributed, it doesn't find mention, let's say, in biographies, because they are centered around key men. It could be Gandhi, Nehru, and over the past few years, there's been more biographies of Ambedkar.
What I really enjoy about the book is that it doesn't just speak about the women's journey in the Constituent Assembly. There's a lot of background that you provide to us as readers, the social context, which also helps understand their role finally in the Constituent Assembly, because
this is when Sucheta Kriplani had joined Congress from Kisan Mazdoor Praja Party. She was elected, from KMMPP, then joined the Congress. And then somebody, I think, stood up in the parliament and said that why should we listen to Acharya Kriplani? Even his wife does not listen to him.
If we rewind a bit, can you also explain to our viewers a little about the role of the members in the Constituent Assembly and how they went about drafting the Constitution?
Men in Bengal Assembly, for example, were saying things like women should not be given the right to vote. If they start voting, they will stop breastfeeding kids, because all their views and thoughts about reservation are so different in so many ways. It's very interesting because, of course, it is their lived experience also. I see some of them were very pro-reservation, some did not want reservation. So it's just interesting to read about, especially now when the bill has just been passed recently. Some of these women, what they have done, even though they were exemplary, it didn't find any mention in history books. So, for example, Amu Swaminathan, one of the women, she had won an election in 1935, municipal elections, and there was no mention of this anywhere. Thankfully, I was reading another material on some old magazine, and it was just mentioned on the footnotes.
The book also explores the sexism and misogyny that the women have faced, both in the Constituent Assembly and outside of that.
Isn't that everywhere?
Not much has changed
everywhere.
Free में इतना ही मिलेगा. To watch the full unedited interview, you have to subscribe to Newslaundry and pay to keep news free, because we don't run advertising. All our money comes from subscribers like you, and that is how public service journalism is paid for. All the studio lights, the cameras, all that you see on our website, it all comes from subscribers. So do subscribe, click on the subscription link, watch all the interviews unedited, and pay for public interest journalism.